what is my expression for my length again? What is my length? Yep. Okay, so length is equal to W plus 8. So 4 plus 8 is going to give me 12. So the question is asking to find the dimensions of the rectangle. So we have to write a written statement. The dimensions of the rectangle are 4 centimeters by 8 centimeters. 4 centimeters by 12 centimeters. And if you add 12 plus 12, which will give you 24, plus another 8, you should get 32, right? So that all makes sense, and our problem is complete. So perimeter problems are very, very common in grade 9, but also in grade 10. So whenever you're dealing with rectangles, remember 2L plus 2W, or 2 times the length plus width, as for your perimeter formula. Okay, now we have an age problem. So this is a little bit longer. So copy this down. This is not as obvious. And this is the last word problem that we have before we attack the questions from assignment B. Okay, so according to this problem, we have to let J represent Joan's age now. So right now, we're not talking about in the past, how can we express Leanne's age in terms of Joan? Anyone know? What algebraic expression? How can we translate the very first sentence to have Leanne's age reflected in terms of Joan? Yep. Yes, because Leanne is 5 years older than Joan. So Leanne is going to be J plus 5. That's how we're going to represent her age. Now, in order to solve this problem, we have to talk about 4 years ago. So, 4 years ago, the situation 4 years ago. Now, how can we represent Leanne's age 4 years ago algebraically? What can we do with the terms that are on the board? So I already know Leanne's age now is J plus 5. So now how do I say 4 years ago mathematically? What do I subtract from Leanne's age now? Yep. What do you think? What number should I subtract if I'm talking about 4 years ago? The number 4. Good. So J plus 5 minus 4. And at that time, 4 years ago, Leanne was twice as old as Joan. 4 years ago, she was twice as old as Joan. So that means that Joan's age 4 years ago, we would take J and we would subtract 4 from Joan's age, right? And we know that Leanne's age 4 years ago, this represents Leanne's age 4 years ago. 4 years ago. That has to be equal to twice Joan's age 4 years ago, because 4 years ago she was twice as old as Joan, right? So this is twice Joan's age 4 years ago. So I've taken the written statements and I've translated them into algebraic statements. So now that I've taken all the information, I can now solve the question. So I have J plus 5 minus 4 is equal to, apply the distributive property, 2J minus 2 times 4 is 8. So I want to group all the j terms on the left-hand side of the equation, and I want to move all the numbers to the right-hand side of the equation. So I have j, and I bring the 2j over so it's negative 2j, is going to be equal to negative 8 minus 5 plus 4. That gives me negative j is equal to negative 13 plus 4. So don't be worried that Joan's age is a negative number right now, because when you simplify the right-hand side, you get negative 9. So what do I have to do to get rid of this negative in front of the j? Anyone tell me? Avinash, what do you think? Divided by? Negative 1. Divided by negative 1. So that tells me that Joan's age, is equal to positive 9. And remember, J represents her age now. So Joan's age now is positive 9. That means, how do I solve for this is Joan's age, yes, now. Leanne's age now. What do I have to do to solve for Leanne's age? Matthew? Yes. So I'd have to take Joan's age, 9, and I have to add 5 to it. So that gives me a value of 11. Okay, so let's test our theory. Oh, sorry, 14. What am I doing? 9 and 14. So, in green, what was Joan's age how many years ago? 4 years ago. Stacy, what was Joan's age 4 years ago? 9 minus 4? 5. And what was Leanne's age? Okay, so 4 years ago, was Leanne's age twice Joan's age? Yes, so it makes sense, right? So our final statement, and don't get confused that the J and the L here is 4 years ago. J and L always represents their age now. The 4 years ago we factored into the equation when we subtracted by 4, right? So final statement, Joan's age now, she is 9 years old. Leanne is 14 years old. So it might seem tedious or redundant, but it's very important that you get in the habit of writing written statements when you have written word problems, because we're going to be carrying on that trend when you get to more complicated word problems in grade 10. Okay? So now let's move on to the component of the unit guide when we're talking about rearranging formulas. So it's assignment B in your unit guide. The formula is A is equal to 1/2 B times H, and the values that you're given in your unit guide, A is equal to 12, H is equal to 3, and we have to isolate for B. We have to solve for B. So the first thing I'm going to do is plug in this information. Instead of A, I'm going to put the number 12 is equal to 1/2, yes, that's fine, 1/2 times B times my H value, which I know is 3. Okay? And slowly we are going to isolate for B. So the first thing we can do is basically combine the numbers on the right-hand side. So I know that 1/2 times 3 is going to give me 3 over 2